sort of expanding on that a bit. So I think as guitarists, we tend to collect devices, ideas for how to improvise over whatever. And could you talk a bit about give us some ideas about how to get that stuff actually into your playing rather than sounding like it's bolted on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's one thing
not
being able to hear
licks.
that it works and understand it intellectually, and it's another thing actually being able to put it into a tune so that it sounds like it should be there rather than it's something that you're still working on.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's I had a friend one time who took a lesson with Joe Pass, and of course, what did Joe show you? Some cool stuff. And he said they just played together, and every time, just anywhere in the middle of his solo, Joe would yell at him, "Play the melody." And the point was that you should never be so far away from the melody. That's your thread through. Particularly a jazz tune, like a monk tune, you really need to know the melody to understand the phrasing sometimes. Because sometimes the phrases are strange. So, and really the greatest improvisers really, we could talk about scales and arpeggios and all, this stuff, but that's like talking about the skin cells here and the blood vessel here. I mean, we need them all, but it's not it. So, all this stuff in preparation, you do need to know the scales and you need to know but that's not it, right? So being creative is, for instance, the deepest discipline is to find elements in the melody that make that song unique, and use that as a vehicle to improvise with. So that could be either a rhythmic idea, it could be an intervallic idea, or it could be a harmonic idea within the tune that you use that as your blueprint through the tune. So, instead of just going, hey, there's an A minor 7 and I learned this cool lick. Because, I'm not into playing licks at all. I play licks, everybody plays licks. But as a performance techniques, don't do it. It sucks. It never works. Because the minute that you think you're going to play a lick, you're not in the present. And improvising is about being in the moment. Because if I think I'm going to play that lick, I've already left these guys behind. And I'm thinking about, I had this lick and I'm already missing. They could play something cool and I'm going to miss it. So I think that's the thing, is being able to trust yourself that you can let go. Use your licks when you practice as training wheels, or there's lots of things you can do with them. But when you improvise, you want to try to let go of that and know these things about the tune. Like even, the Days and Run, just even that. So that using that interval, that 6, trying to find it different places in the chords and bring it back to. I can make a statement with it and move away with it and keep coming, but I'll keep coming back to that. I think that's the thing, is to find those points in any tune that sort of otherwise it would just be a bunch of chord changes. There'd be nothing special about it, right? Especially a blues, they're all pretty much the same chord changes, so what makes it special is the melody. So trying to find that thing, or that thing that stands out to you as a identifying shape in the song. Even that part. When you get to know the tune, as I guess I was saying, like you listen to a lot of different versions of it and you get the song of the tune inside of you. It's a discipline to make yourself, not play your licks, right?
Sometimes they just come out.
Well, of course. I mean, if they come out, that's what I'm saying. Everybody has things that they play, things that they gravitate towards.
You don't think that you're going to play it; it just comes out.
I hope not. Try it for yourself. I learned the hard way that if I try to play a lick, that decision isn't made out of music. That decision's made out of insecurity. Like, I gotta play a cool lick or they think I can't play. That's never a reason to play. And you know what I mean? Like, you just have to learn about that and try to let go. It's like jump, I'm gonna fly. Okay, mama bird kicks me out of the nest. And I go, I start flapping. I gotta do something, right? But, I mean, I think you would play a lick because you feel obliged to, or you need to fill the space, or you want to prove, show I have a hip lick. Like, 'cause that's not a musical motivation. It's a selfish motivation. I think that's the thing, is like, to make a musical motivation, you've got to be in the moment and create with your band these things.
Because all these teaching expertise give masses and masses and masses of licks.
Yes. Well, they're training wheels. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I mean,
so
that's what I'm saying. You use that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can learn. There are many ways. I mean, I have a course, 50 bebop licks you must know. But I even explained at the beginning of it is these are templates to teach you about phrasing, about rhythm, about harmony. And they can be actually, if you go to France, you might have to go, where's the bathroom? Okay, that's a vocabulary. Hello. Où est la toilette? Oh, thank you. But, and that's one level in, but if you were to master French, and you really got into it, hopefully you'd be able to have a deep conversation about philosophy. That's when you've got the language mastered. So all those little licks are in there, but you're not.
Because I used to learn Wes Montgomery solos, note for note.
Yeah, me too.
And I realised I was teaching myself to play the guitar because once I'd learned them,
That's
I
right.
I don't want to play like Wes Montgomery. I want to learn to play the guitar.
Yes, it's true. It does teach you. There's so much you can learn from them. So I'm not discarding them. But again, there's practice and then there's performance. So, do you had a question?
Well, I just had a comment on the question. The way I look at it, I tend to learn licks I like the sound of.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the sound that's important, not the shape or
Mhm.
the notes or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm playing, if I want that sound, I know how to get it because I've learned it.
Yes.
Not because I want to play a lick.
Yeah. No, that's true. They teach you a lot. I mean, when I was a kid, and I learned this from. When I was a kid, there weren't a lot of like there are now. So many things out there, but there was Improvising Jazz by Jerry Coker. And he talks about, and that's why I started making a lick dictionary. The lexicon of lictionaries. Anyway, and I did that. And again, they were sort of training wheels. But, and I would organize them like things you can play on dominant 7 chords, things you can play on 2/5s, things you can play on major 7. I organized them harmonically, so you see that situation. And then, then you kind of learn the big, like you find a lick and it has maybe a whole tone line in it or an L, and you go, then that teaches you, ooh, I can use a whole tone scale or bits of the whole tone on a dominant 7. So it leads you to that pathway of learning a bigger musical concept. So that, and I think if you use licks that way, it's going to be great.
How much did you try to emulate other musicians other than guitar players?
Oh, yeah, I always wanted to sound like Charlie Parker on the guitar. And actually the guitarists I loved came out of Charlie Parker, which are Joe Pass and Jimmy Rainey. They sounded great to me. Clifford Brown, I transcribed stacks of it when I was a student at Berkeley.
And was that an emotional thing that you got from the music as opposed to a...
Yeah, I suppose, and I just felt, well, for one thing, outside of Charlie Christian, guitar has not really been an innovator in many ways. I mean,